Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about the iPhone 7. Now, I know this is going to come out 6 days after I record it, so it's probably going to be kind of old news by the time you're watching this. But for me, the phone just came out, and I've been discussing it with friends and stuff, and here are my thoughts. First of all, getting rid of the headphone jack. Now, this is a decision that I think makes sense if you have the technology to implement it. My friend Roger at school was, let's say, a little bit disappointed in this. He likes his analog headphones. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting rid of it, but you have to be able to have a secure Bluetooth connection or whatever it's using. I think it's like Bluetooth. And you have to have a secure and reliable connection to your phone. Otherwise, you're going to be listening to your music, and then it's just going to cut out and it's going to be real annoying. And if it's like Bluetooth for my phone connecting to my car and stuff like that, it doesn't work too well all the time. So I think they might be a little bit too early on that. But then again, there are other phones that are doing it. Like there's some Motorola phone that just came out a couple months ago that doesn't have a headphone jack. And it's probably the way of the future, because wireless connections are better. There's less chance for the signal to get distorted and things like that. Just not having to deal with cords is nice. So maybe that's the way of the future, but I don't know if Apple should have done it yet. Of course, you can always use their adapter for their charging port, but then you can't charge your phone while you're listening to music. So that just doesn't make any sense to me. Because 90% of the time when I'm listening to something, I'll be listening to a podcast and having my phone charging at the same time. The camera on that thing looks super cool, but again, it's been done before, but maybe Apple's done it better. I don't know. They tend to have pretty good cameras on their phones. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Water resistance, again, they aren't the first to have done it, but it's good that they have done it. Overall, I think the iPhone 7 is not really very innovative, but it's got some nice features, and getting rid of the headphone port was a weird decision. Who knows though, maybe the AirBuds will be really nice. AirPods. Airbud is a dog. Here's an idea though. What if instead of selling AirPods, they sold AirBuds, which is like a dog you could put on your head, and it used the dog's life force to charge your AirPods, and you could listen to music in your dog. But then again, you probably can't do that because there is no dog. No dog. Anyway, now that I got that discussion out of the way, how are you doing? How are you? What are your thoughts on the iPhone 7? So today, I went to school, did some improv, came home, ate some stuff, and now I gotta record a video. I always put off recording videos until the last minute, which I probably shouldn't do, but I do it anyway. And then I'm gonna go play Dungeons & Dragons, and by that I mean not play Dungeons & Dragons because my group doesn't play Dungeons & Dragons anymore, but we're gonna play other games, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. Speaking of not playing Dungeons & Dragons anymore, my game group has been playing other games recently. I just think board games are great in general, so yeah, I'm gonna recommend a few to you. First off, Tokaido. We played that, and it's this beautiful game about traveling across Japan, and you try to eat food and stuff. I feel like I've talked about this before. Maybe not, though. Next, Dead of Winter. This is actually one of my favorite ideas I've seen for a game, because it's a collaborative board game that's sometimes competitive. It's based in a zombie apocalypse kind of situation where you're part of a band of colonists trying to survive. You sort of lead your own little colony and have your own followers, and every game there's an overarching mission for the entire group to complete, and they can't win unless they complete that mission. However, everyone also has their own individual objectives, and their objectives sometimes have to go a little bit against what the whole group needs, so you have to be able to balance those without being too greedy and messing it up for everyone. For example, in the game we played last week, or 2 weeks ago, our whole group's objective was to just survive for 5 days. Which might not sound that difficult, but it's pretty hard. My personal objective was to have the most people in my group out of anyone, so I spent the whole time trying to find new people, but the problem is every time you find new people, it also attracts more zombies, and it takes more food, and there's a whole bunch of other problems. So we were just trying to survive, but I was I need people, and I was just trying to amass a giant army of people, but that was kind of counter to our main goal of just trying to survive. And what makes the game really interesting and really cool in my opinion is that there can be traitors, or betrayers as they're called. Essentially someone whose secret objective is to make everyone else fail, so they'll be actively working against the main objective, but they try not to let anyone else see it. If anyone else notices that they're trying to betray the group, they can vote them out of the group, and then they just lose, basically. So yeah, Dead of Winter, really cool game. It has all sorts of levels of gameplay. It seems kind of complex, but it's a pretty basic concept to just get into it, and it's a lot of fun. Alright guys, so I'm here in my car on my way to D&D, and by that I don't mean D&D. We've been over this before. Anyway, I just want to say buy my book. I don't have time to talk right now because we're going to try to because we're going to try to fit in a game of Tokaido and the Dead of Winter, whatever it's called. I'm too flustered, I can't even think. Anyway, I gotta go, bye. I gotta head out, I don't have time to talk. Okay, bye. Alright guys, the game is over now. I didn't record anything there, but I did post a couple of Instagram pictures, so if you want to go look at my Instagram from a week ago, you can find those. We actually managed to win Dead of Winter. That was fun. It was kind of nerve-wracking. I had to sacrifice the principal of a school in order to do it. And drunk Santa. There was a drunk mall Santa. And he died to raise everyone else's morale. Yep. Anyway, I'm on my way home now. I still have some work to do. So I'm going to end the vlog here. Good night.
Are you filming? My hands. Squirrel noises are the best.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to get some good ambient stuff.